What's up, peeps, and welcome back to Cyril Plays. As promised, I'm back with the video of grouting my pool. I'm going to give it a little clean first. I don't know if you can see. It's a little bit dirty, and we've had some problems with a leak because I only built this, just over a year ago now. It's obviously had to settle. You can see where there's a few cracks that have developed. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute and make sure I'm recording it properly. And there's another one over here. You can see just a little bit, like in the middle. I don't have a drain in my pool because I wasn't sophisticated enough for that. And it was too much work, so I just decided to do basic stuff. So we need the right grout. So this one is flexible water repellent tile grout, and you can use it outdoors. We've got a little bucket with some water already in it, which we're going to sprinkle the grout into and mix it with this scraper. You can remove the grout with this, the excess grout. We can do both with this one. We can apply and do that because it's not a big space. A sponge to sponge off the excess grout. There's a lot of dust with this, so you might want to wear a mask and definitely do it in a ventilated area. So this is the consistency you need. It runs off, but not easily. You kind of have to give it a tap. I'm actually going to use my float to do this because it's a corner, and you'll see that it will just go straight into the corner. So you need to start from the bottom, as it will hold all of this up while you do it. It will get messy. So for this, it's just a simple up and down motion. And we're going to go in from left and right to make sure we get as much as we can into that crack. And there it is. So with our wet sponge, I didn't get a bucket, so I'm just going to kind of wet it. Dip it in here if you want. So you basically wet your sponge and then squeeze out the excess. And then we just go up, same as we did grouting it. Use one side of the sponge and then turn it around, use the other side. All the clean edges of the sponge. Try to leave as little amount as you possibly can on there. And then when it dries, like when it's almost dry, take off the rest. And we've got this other little crack here. There's a crack on top, but that's grey grout, so I'm going to have to do that separately. You can see the tiles kind of moved out of place as well. And if you want to do this properly, you'll have to re-stick that tile. It will fill the gap. The tile's not loose, it's not coming out. As long as it's not loose, and you don't need to go too much effort with it. It's sticking out, but I couldn't get this completely straight anyway. Mosaic tiles are the most difficult tiles to get straight. What you need to do with a bigger area, I'm going to grout a little bit more than just that area here, is work in a diagonal pattern. So if you're not re-grouting, you've just tiled and you're grouting, use diagonal patterns to fill the areas. Don't go straight this way because it will dip into the little gaps and it will look messy. So in a diagonal pattern, then you can take off most of the grout and do the same thing again using the sponge, just clean it up. So I'm going to get on with just grouting the whole thing, just re-grout the whole thing. I've mixed enough grout anyway, I might as well do it. And that will ensure that if there's any other cracks we can't see, it will fill it all up, and of course it will make it all white again. Sorry, socks. I always end up doing everything in my socks at home, and I change my socks about 6 times a day and end up with a load of socks with paint and grout and whatever else on them. So just as we applied the grout, we're working in a diagonal fashion again. That will keep your tiles tidy, and the gaps won't be unlevel. And here's the pool, all grouted and sponged off, waiting to dry now, and then we can buff it up. And now to buff. I'm using an old towel that I use for work when I do tiling, and it does the trick, and it goes quite hard with all the dry grout on it from previous jobs, which actually helps in the buffing process, so I don't need to use a scourer or anything harsh, and it does come up a treat. And after buffing it, we'll have to clean it one more time properly, maybe with some soapy water to get it all sparkly, and you're all done. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video, and peace out. Oop, there's a wasp on my phone. Get away. Wasps seem to love me. Better not be on me. Oh my god.